You've probably heard that Queen Elizabeth passed. She was the longest serving monarch in England's history. And 4 months ago, she celebrated her 96th birthday. She was the queen for over 70 years. In her lifetime, she met 12 US presidents, and most of them have died. She was completely there for World War II. She was there during the entire Cold War and a lot of different places. 70 years is not a short time. The UK is a democracy, but it's also a monarchy as well. But since it's a democracy, the Queen doesn't really hold much power. If you see Britain's history, a lot of this has happened. Queen Elizabeth kills George VI, her father, with a sword and becomes Queen of Britain. But that was a joke. That's what happened back in the day. George VI, Elizabeth's father, died at the age of 56, and her oldest child was Elizabeth II, and that's why she becomes queen. Since the 15th century, the English royal family has been the highest power. But until now, it has lost its power, and year by year, it gets less and less. In the year 1911, they removed all power from the monarchy, and it went to the parliament. And that shows when Queen Elizabeth comes into office, she doesn't really have real duties. The parliament could have gotten rid of the monarchy, but they said no. We have to keep this tradition going. The kings and queens will stay as a symbol. They don't have real power. The royal family has their own salary, but the government's hands is in the parliament, and the parliament chooses the prime minister, and that's the highest level. As you know, Queen Elizabeth used to sign at the bottom of each bill. But this bill had already been passed, and she had nothing to do with it. But for that, they have a ceremony, and she has to sign it. The law in Britain says, even if the Queen does not agree with the bill, she still has to sign it. This is a real law, and she can't argue with any bill she's signing. British politicians say, even though the Queen didn't have real powers, but it brings up the prestige of the United Kingdom. Even though the British Empire was one of the worst in the world and did a lot of bad things, but a lot of different countries still respect her, or they used to, because she died. She had a long-time prince, Prince Charles III, and he's now called King Charles III. It was more than 70 years since Britain had a king, but Prince Charles broke that. He's now 73 years old, and his coronation has not been announced. The people of the United Kingdom like the royal family, even though they don't hold any power, but they still respect them. And since the Queen died, they are actually extremely sad about it. Liz Truss, that has been in office for about a few days as Prime Minister, has written this on Twitter about Queen Elizabeth II. She wrote, Queen Elizabeth II was the rock on which modern Britain was built. Our country has grown and flourished under her reign. The tweet was much longer, but I read the first few sentences. Boris Johnson stated on Twitter that this is our country's saddest day, but I don't know if he remembers World War II because he wasn't alive, but the Nazis would drop bombs on London daily. It's good to know that Queen Elizabeth wasn't the Queen of just England. There are 15 countries that know her as the Queen. Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, the Bahamas, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, Solomon Islands, and Tuvalu. All these countries have lost their queen now. But a lot of people in these countries are anti-United Kingdom because they believe that they've been wrong. A lot of anti-Queen people on social media, not only were they not sad, they were celebrating it. A lot of Africans believe that it was the British Empire that caused racism all over the world. They know that she had nothing to do with it, but they know her as the symbol of the UK. It's good to know that every United Kingdom news source, BBC, and other BBC forums are all about the Queen, and the entire page is mostly about them. There's different videos about what actually will happen after the Queen's death, and the things that are happening right now are actually a law that have been set in stone a long time ago. In those clips, there's other rules, and one of them says when she dies, every English radio station has to play sad music. Every news reporter in England has to wear black, and the day she dies, the Parliament has to take a day off and not work. These laws are never ending, and there's a lot of videos made about that. It's good to know that after the second the Queen Elizabeth died, Prince Charles became King of England, and now that he's king, his life is not as easy as it used to be. Now he has to know everything. It might take months until he realizes what is happening. Some experts believe that after the Queen dies, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales are gonna ask for independence from England, but obviously we're not sure if it's gonna happen or not. Some English people believe that after she came into office, she ruined the power of this country. Because before her, the UK was a superpower, but day by day it got weaker, and now we're here. But we all know that she had nothing to do with the power of the UK. Prince Charles is now King Charles, and he has no power, but he's not free anymore. He has to participate in different ceremonies. Like for example, sign a bill. Prince Charles, that used to be very free, has to be much more responsible than before, and that's at the age of 73, where he has to dress up and look good for the cameras and act fake. We don't know what kind of name we can put on this person: king, minister, lawyer, or a puppet for the symbol of Britain. What do you guys think? Please comment.